Thanks very much, Jane, and all the team for organising this, and a big welcome to, I suppose, my colleagues in internal medicine. I'm an infectious disease physician. My colleagues in histopathology, and Louise Burke, who's the Dean of Pathology, is here to welcome you also, and also to the obstetricians and gynecologists. I don't think Keena is here, but she sends her warm wishes, and Professor Horgan, a respiratory colleague of mine in Galway. And I'm looking at the front row, and people always said, RCPI is really Dublin-centric. But I think all of us are from outside the M50. So life does exist, and many of you will be working outside the M50. So we really are a national organisation supporting you not only in Dublin, but my three colleagues here in, I'll have to mention Cork first, obviously, with Fiona, Sheila in Galway, and Myrna in Limerick. And I was delighted to be able to tell Paul Reid, the new DG of the HSE, that he's following in our footsteps by regionalising the health service, very much what we did with the college. I suppose I like to start by saying that I was like you 32 years ago when I started my BST. It wasn't BST, we just did medical rotations at the time. They weren't particularly well structured, but I must say they really were good fun. I was in the Mater, so I was a Kerry person, went to Dublin and ended up being in Cork with 7 years in the States in the middle of all of that. And what my BST did allow me to do is to be recruited into one of the top medical centres in the US, as happened with my two colleagues. That doesn't mean that I want you to go away, but what it did was gave me a really good grounding, particularly from a clinical point of view, allowed me to go away. I did infectious diseases. It didn't exist here at the time, but I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I headed off and then came back to a post and brought all the knowledge that I acquired in the structured training program in the States back to here, and started the infectious disease department down in CUH. So what you get, and you realise this if you go away and come back, how good the clinical training is in the country. And as much as they might give out about the service here, what is absolutely quality is the frontline staff and how they deliver care to the people of the country. And that's particularly frontline staff, our colleagues in nursing and the other healthcare professionals, as well as our excellent graduates. And what we're a postgraduate training body, really dedicated to long-term education, starting with you as BSTs, right through to those, my colleagues who are even retired, ensuring continuous professional development. And what we're trying to do over the next year is diversify more how we train you, not just in the pure medicine or OBS or histopathology, but getting you involved in digital healthcare, in the business of medicine, and in leadership, because that's one thing that we are in general naturally good leaders. You need to lead a team, and you're now just one step above the intern, but you have to guide them through where you are. So it's really important that you understand that that is the mission of the college, is to train, educate, and continuously develop doctors. The college is your college. You are the customers, you own the college, and it's really, really important that you get involved in the college. We get enough criticism externally from the media and so on, and this is the voice through which we can make our points on the importance of retention, recruitment, as well as other major advocacy areas, and I'll mention one of them at the very end. So do get involved. I can't do it all. You're the next generation. You need to leave your impression. And if I can be in this position 30 years after graduating, there's no reason why any of you can't, if you want to, take on this role. And obviously our values, I don't need to spell them out, but these are the values by which we practice as doctors, in addition to being compassionate and being really good communicators. We're the largest and oldest postgraduate training body. The college has been in existence since 1654, so it's really important that we continue to be a really strong college, continue to be the best college. The 1,400 trainees are across basic specialty training, higher specialist training, and our international training programs. We have 3 offices that my colleagues in the front row front. I think it's really important that we support trainers and trainees at the site. And I pushed the opening of the first office when I was Dean of the Medical School in Cork in 2014, and subsequently in Galway, and now in Limerick, with a 4th office opening in the Dublin East Group in the coming months. We have 6 faculties: peds, pathology, public health medicine, obstetrics, gynecology, occupational medicine, and now the Institute of Medicine, which is really trying to reorganise and put good governance around our internal medicine and its specialties. And Professor Horgan is the foundation dean of that, so he's got the easy job of bringing only 17 specialties together. 18. Okay. I missed one somewhere. How we deliver training, we're hugely dependent on colleagues in the hospitals, but also with the staff here. We've approximately 130 staff that support training, and many of you will have met the training team, BST led by Jane Fletcher and her group. Courses, events, IT, and you'll know that there's been a number of big advances in IT with mobile-enabled e-portfolio, not only for the trainees but also for those people in practice. Examinations, I will mention it. My thing with the examinations, get them over and done with as quickly as possible. It's like passing the driving test. Once you have it, you're on the neck, you're on the road. Do it early. I won't say do it often, but really, you know, they are absolutely doable. The pass rates are high. Work together and get them over and done with, so that you be well on your career path. Hospital accreditation, we need to ensure that the standard of the training meets the standard we require. Communications, we've been very active in promoting screening and confidence in it, vaccination. Research, and the research we do is in training, particularly around retention and recruitment. Obviously finance, help desk, and this is our heritage centre. It's the only medical museum in Ireland, and it's under Harriet Wheelock, who's the keeper of all our records and archives, has achieved that. So we like to have a national presence. We want to be the go-to people. We have an expanding array of offices outside, not only, I suppose, Dublin, but really it's outside our central location here and over in Setanta House. We have outcome-based education, particularly in paediatrics, starting training post-evaluation that Anto led out on. We're the only college that has a wellbeing office. I felt it was really important that we support you, but you also need to support each other. It is a tough job, but you need to know that you, unlike many other professions or your peers, do make a difference every single day in the lives of those that you see. Communication strategy, we have a big focus on trainees and trainers, and we'll be having a symposium on the retention recruitment issue. And I did bring up the issue of pay parity also. And we have a number of really, our research is based on doctors in training. I was keen to expand the number of awards that we give to our trainees right across the disciplines, and these have expanded considerably in the last 18 months. Get to know the college staff. They're there to support you. Pick up the phone if you feel that you need more support. If you feel that your colleagues need support, we need to know early so that we can support them. And I suppose the things that I've learned along the way is that, follow what you want to do. Don't be doing something just because you think there might be a job at the end of it, because you need to, if you enjoy what you're doing, just go for it. Really important to find a mentor, somebody who will guide you along the way if you're not sure, particularly when it comes to career advice. You might be halfway through a program, you're not very sure. There are many around. We can help identify them, and it's somebody just to have a chat with often and get reassurance that you're doing the right thing. Networking events like this are really important. Collegiality, I mentioned that already. Help one another. It is a tough world out there, and not many people understand a lot of the stresses that you'd be under. But you do, will gain a lot from support. Leave your comfort zone. I did it when I went to the States. I obviously did the J1. For 2 years over there, but I hadn't worked over there, and I took on a specialty that didn't even exist here. So I really took a chance of doing what I wanted to do, and thankfully succeeded. So it is important to do things that you really enjoy that mightn't be always traditional. Look after your personal well-being. My own mantra is I work really hard, but I always book the next holiday once I come back from a holiday. So I do like to party, right? Obviously sensibly. I'm sure that both Louise and Anto can attest to that. But, really is important to do fun things outside work. It's not all about work. Ask for help. I still do that. I've been practicing for well over 30 years in infectious diseases. If I'm not sure about something, I always ask. It's not a sign of weakness. And somebody will see the same problem in a different way. And whether that's a research question or it's a clinical issue, I have no qualms in, I'm not that proud. I'm fairly humble when it comes to looking for that. And certainly one of my colleagues' son, the implant, who's a really good colleague of mine, he's usually my go-to person, and vice versa, because as a renal doctor and an infectious disease doctor, we know most things anyway. So look after yourself, and when things get tough, look for help, ask. We've all been in that position. Life is never smooth, even though it looks like that on TV. It's full of ups and downs, and we all get through them together. So look for peer support, look for support in the offices, look for support, and Gay Canan is talking a little later. We're here to help. I suppose there are many opportunities for you to join the college. I'm really keen that, obviously you can't be trainers or examiners yet, but you will eventually get to that. But do get involved in the trainees committee. What you say will make a difference. I'm just going to advertise the Green Health Symposium. We're going to have the impact of change in the environment, everything from plastics, antibiotics, microbiome, and urbanisation. So I'm very keen that some of you participate in this. I'm giving you plenty of notice, the 6th of November. And this will be very much involve not only the Irish Heart Foundation, APC, which is a big research institute in UCC, but also trainee involvement. And you need to have our voice heard when it comes to impact of the environment, because it'll affect you much more likely than us. So look forward to seeing you. I look forward to seeing those of you who were down in CUH when I'm there going on the front line. But we're here to help. This is your college. Thank you.